So today's video is about basically it's about selling yourself out for others, for your work, for your family, and really, in all honesty, it never serves you. It hasn't served me. From my personal point of view, it's something that has always been a part of my life ever since a young age. It's not something that I like doing. Obviously, it doesn't feel very good, and I've been going to great ends in recent years to really kind of sort this out in myself. But obviously, because it's a strong pattern within me, it's been one of those things that's quite tricky. And as you know, if you've ever been into any form of self-help or self-analysis, you'll know that certain problems come up, form habits, and those habits, they often infiltrate every area of your life, and you're not really, and quite often you're not really conscious of those habits. So the way in which I sell myself out is I usually really I more or less totally sacrifice myself for others, for a goal, for a place of work, and I put everything I have into it at the expense of my own well-being. And of course, that's not really a good way to do anything, because if you sacrifice yourself to that degree, you really have nothing to give at all anyway, and then you end up burning out, running out of energy, lapsing into depression, anxiety, and all kinds of different health ailments. And all of this has happened to me in the past. I've suffered a lot with depression. As a matter of fact, in the last 8-9 years, possibly longer, and I've suffered with depression most of my life. And a lot of that is due to me sacrificing myself because I didn't have enough self-respect. And so we go into our work environments, and we don't really, I think to some extent, to a lot of an extent, people in general, I've noticed people in general in my working environments, it's like that they have no direction at all. And I probably said this in a previous video, but I work as a customer assistant in Lidl. I've worked in warehouses, I've done factory work, so all the working class jobs. I've done a lot of working class jobs, and even when I was in Australia and New Zealand, especially New Zealand, I worked with some people there who were fruit picking and doing viticulture and all kinds of different things. And whilst I was working in those environments with a lot of travellers, so there was a more positive environment, there were a couple of Kiwi workers, a couple of Australian workers, and the same thing always runs true, is they work because they need the money. They don't work because they enjoy it, they don't work because they love what they do. They work because they need the money, and that they don't feel like they have any other choice. They've got no direction in life, really. They're just following a set of principles, or a life plan that has either been demonstrated to them in their lives, or has been set out by their parents or some other authoritative figure in their lives. They're doing what they think they need to do because it's the only way that they know how to live, in a sense, the only way they know how to live their lives. So I've noticed, both for myself and in these people, that there's often a lot of bitterness, there's often a lot of nastiness that comes out, and especially if somebody is doing something that they feel that they would like to do, possibly on an internal level, or someone is popular or famous or anything else like that. Anybody who appears to have a life that is better than theirs or more abundant than theirs is seen to be wrong. And of course, I can remember a lot in the past that I was also bitter and twisted like that too, because I didn't have what I wanted in my life, and the blame tends to shift out into others who do have what they want. It's like they're taking too much money, they're taking too much of this, if blah blah blah, lack mentality, when of course there is actually really none of that. And so we sell ourselves out for our jobs, our work, even our own family members. And most people never really get to the root of why they actually do that. And so I guess for me personally, this is what I've been doing. This is what I did yesterday in my work, and of course it's a constant theme at the moment. That, you know, it's like, I think it's more about learning self-respect, learning respect for yourself, learning to love yourself more, learning to, you know, just really learning to. It's definitely more about learning to love yourself than anything else, and learning to see yourself through those eyes, and really taking that time to connect with yourself, taking the time to treat yourself, taking the time to actually, and it's like there's two types of selfishness. There's negative selfishness where you seek to take from others at the expense of others, and then there's positive selfishness where you seek to fill yourself up from the inside, and then from that inside you're able to give to others rather than from a full pot, rather than actually trying to expel something from an empty pot, so to speak. And of course that never makes, you know, when you're trying to give from a place where there is nothing to give, you can't actually do that. It's impossible, because eventually you just run out. It's like the well runs dry. And so I guess all I can say is that, one, I'm working on my own personal issues, and I'm aware of it, which is good. And the more aware that you can be of it, the better it is. And two, you know, in each and every day, you know, we all have, especially here, we all have the opportunity to be able to learn new things, to be exposed to people who are actually full from the inside out, who are actually, you know, or filling themselves up from the inside, who are living lives that we all would like to live and aspire to live and live by, and then have our own personal power, in a sense, so that we can live our own lives. So yeah, just don't sell yourself out as a result. Just, you know, don't sell yourself out for the things that you don't believe in, and try and see the positives in every day, and also, you know, try and pinpoint your focus in a way that is gonna serve you rather than not serve you. So that's it for this video, guys. It's been a bit all over the place, and yet again it's been 8 minutes long, but take it easy, and I hope you have a great day.